Welcome back to my channel. Today I have lots of new makeup that I'm going to play with. I'm just going to kind of do kind of a normal face, but with might not be new to you, but it's new to me. I've got concealer from Vieve. I've got some iconic London product, some new goodies from ELF. I've got a lip stain, a blush and the vitamin C primer. Got a new sponge. I've heard about this from TikTok, the COCO Cosmetics by Chloe sponge. And I've got some new brushes from Morphe. I have the Makeup by Ariel ones, which are kind of like the green pointy ones, and then Morphe have brought out their own kind of brand, because this was obviously a collaboration. This is like their in-house brand, very similar. They've obviously realised how well these did. So I've got kind of like a primer or foundation brush, and then like a bit larger and mini version of each other. So yeah, so I'm just going to do kind of, I'm going to the cinema later, so nothing too much, but just, yeah, a nice face of new stuff. Yeah, and I hope you enjoy. So I have just had a shower and I've put on kind of my regular skincare, and I have used this once, and actually my makeup that day looked fab, but I did also use like my L'Oreal True Match, and that for me is good. Like normally if I have that on for a full day, by evening my skin is great. So I'm just gonna take some of it on my hands and just kind of focus this on the centre of my face. So it says it's a 2% vitamin C infused face primer to brighten and even out your skin tone whilst gripping makeup for an all day wear. Smooth velvety makeup primer, great for oily, dry skin combinations, are basically good for everyone. I definitely have that combination. I find that I get dry spots really easily and my makeup clings to it, but also by the end of the day I'm oily. It's weird, like I am like a very super, I find that some parts of my face are dry, some parts are oily. Obviously it's getting to winter, so my face will naturally get drier. Anyway, okay, so I like this. So far so good. It doesn't smell as citrusy. I always think vitamin C things smell really like orangey. Maybe that's just other things I've tried that have loads of like scent in, but so far this I really like. I've tried their ages ago, their other putty primer, and I didn't love it, but tried this one obviously before and I've tried it today, and let's hope this one becomes a staple, because I use a lot of like liquid primers, so it's nice to have something a tiny bit thicker. Right, so next I'm going to get this brush. This is the Morphe V100, and I'm also going to take this, which is from Iconic. This is called Underglow and it's a blurring primer. It says shake well before use. I saw this on TikTok. Somebody did like half their face with it and half face without, and it looked fab. So when I was buying this foundation I saw this and thought, you know what, I'm gonna get it. So I'm just gonna take the dropper. No, you shouldn't put this on your skin, but I am. I don't know how much I'm gonna use. Hopefully that's enough. I'm gonna take this brush and just buff it out. Doesn't really have a scent. Do I think it's super blurring? I don't know. Don't know whether this would have been better with my hands. Definitely given like a nice like sheen. Do like, it's got quite a lot in, it's got 27ml, so that's 0.91 fluid ounces, which I do think is a lot. I like the size of the bottle. Sometimes things like this, they never give you enough. So it's undercover your natural radiance with our must have for fresh face, smooth flawless looking skin, our soft focus radiance underglow blurring primer. It has got skincare in it apparently, thanks to its cocktail of skincare ingredients. Works to hydrate, nourish and protect. It does feel skincare vibe, and I like the Vieve one, their primer, because it has skincare, so I feel like I'm getting extra. I don't think it's super blurring though. I think it's more of like a hydrating skincare primer, more so than a blurring primer, but it is nice. Next I have this iconic super smoother again, blurring skin tint. I day to day love a skin tint. I love the Fenty one. Really want to try the Rare Beauty one. That looks like it's got quite a lot of coverage, but day to day, unless I'm doing full glam, skin tints and my best friend. I got Neutral Fair, and I'm going to pack this one on with this brush. And I've not used this before. I was saving it for this video. I'm just going to pop a little bit on. You can always add more. I think this colour is going to be fine. Neutral and light is always quite good for me. And I'm just going to focus this on the centre of my face and kind of just push it out. It's got, yeah, it's definitely skin tint. Do you know how sometimes they're labelled skin tint, but then they end up having lots of coverage? I feel like this is something that could be buildable. Again, doesn't have a scent, which is nice. I don't mind skincare or things like primers having a scent, but when there's scent unnecessarily put in things, I just think it's unnecessary. But I don't mind a bit of something. A tiny bit on my eyelids, just to like the colour, and I like the coverage. You can obviously still see some of my blemishes, but I quite like to have quite light and then go in with the concealer and really kind of cover up those problem areas. Again, I wouldn't say it's blurring. Yep, I'm happy with this. I think in the summer this is going to be perfect. So very happy, and I love this brush. The other brush that I normally use for foundation is this one, Angle. So if you look at them side by side, this one is denser and obviously is almost like, it's basically very similar, but it's double-sided. So yeah, I like this brush. Just going to see if it's buildable and add a tiny bit more just to the centre. I do feel like you could use a lot of this product. This is 1 fluid ounce, which I guess is kind of normal for foundations. Yeah, I guess it does give a tiny bit more coverage. I wouldn't say it's loads, but again, it is tinted moisturiser. Skin tint. Next, I've got the new Vieve Modern Radiance Concealer. Customizable coverage. This, obviously, I'm a Vieve stan. I try all their products. Some of them I don't get on with, some of them I do. This I did try and instantly fell in love. It's very similar to my nude sticks, which is kind of like my go-to, where I like something that's really hydrating but that has coverage. When they're too thick, I just find that it makes me crease loads. So, and I got the light one, again, so pale. There's one thing, is the doe foot, I don't know, there's something about it. Maybe it's like, I don't know, it's not very spongy, if that makes any sense. It's quite like stick. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well. Like, it's very solid. You know how some of the doe foots are quite springy? This is quite solid and holds a lot. It does hold a lot of product, so you can apply quite a bit in kind of one go. So I'm going to use this little brush that's basically similar style, similar kind of head to the other one. So I'm just going to go over and blend in. This has been out for a while, it's just I didn't get a chance to get a hold of it. This brush is great for around your nose and for these little areas. This brush would be really good for when, do you know the little NARS pot? I always find that difficult to get hold of stuff out of, because I don't want to use a fluffy brush, but I don't really have dense brushes that are this small. So yeah, this would be good for that kind of pot concealer as well. Yeah, this concealer is just great. It gives enough coverage, but it's really movable, creamy. I'm actually going to, let me try and just push. Do you know what I haven't used this. What I might do is I might do my cream products with this. This brush is nice, but this is the brush that I normally use for my concealer, because it just kind of goes across the whole face quite easily. This one obviously is a lot smaller, so it does the job, but I think I would use this more for, like I said, that kind of pot concealer, spot concealing. Let me go back to this one, because this one I just wiggle it under and it just makes it perfect. Yeah, the bigger areas this works, but around the nose, getting into all these like finer details on the eyelids, this works nicely. Yeah, I like this brush, love the concealer. Next I'm going to cream contour using the ELF Putty bronzer. This one isn't new, I've used this quite a lot in my videos, so I'm going to take this Morphe brush and just go through this. Right, now I've got some life back into the face. I'm going to get the sponge. This is the Marshmallow sponge by COCO Cosmetics. If you've been alive, you'll see that this is all over TikTok, but her more rounded one. I went for this one because I knew this shape would be better for me. And I'm going to take, so this is a putty bronzer. It looks very orange, but I saw it on YouTube. Can't remember who. Saw this on TikTok as well. This is in Bahamas. I'm not a blush girl. Like, I know that it is everywhere, everybody loves it, but it's just not my journey. But I do like it, so I'm going to take the bigger end and just dab a bit on, and I'm going to be very cautious and just kind of bounce it quite high. And what I love about the putty bronzer and this, hopefully, is because it's quite luminous, you kind of still see all your skin underneath. But this I like, and actually using it with a sponge means I don't actually pick up that much. I'm going to put a tiny bit on my nose, make it look like I'm a little bit sunburned, but in a cute way. especially this time of year when it's cold, even though I'm dressed for summer, but it gets very hot when I film. Yeah, I like that. It's very subtle. Very subtle. Has just given me a bit of dimension. So I am going to set just the middle of my face with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. Take this brush from Morphe. This is the A3.2. This I've hit pan on. I need to get another one. I really want to get the brightening one, but the packaging is ugly. Like really white. I don't know. I think the rose gold is a lot nicer. But I'm just going to set underneath my eyes. Okay, so next I'm going to do my brows. I've got my Benefit 3D brows, 24-hour brow setter, and precisely my brow pencil. I'm going to do this off camera because this isn't new. I like to use these three in every video. So yeah, I will be right back. Brows are on. Any of you, which I'm sure a lot of you do, / everybody, follows Manny MUA, the temptation to sing back in the brows are filled every time you do your eyebrows. It's a reality. I also applied powder, bronzer and blusher with the Vieve Dimension Face palette. I've shown this before. It's got bronzer, 2 blushes and a highlight. Love this. Next, I am going to do, so I have these from Vieve, which are the latest eye ones that they brought out. So I've got coffee and espresso. One, they're both brown, but one is warmer. Let me do a swatch. So as you can see, so the darker one is espresso and the lighter one is coffee. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use, they have other colours, that normally the vanilla one is what I use to prime my eyes if I'm ever doing like a full like look. So I'm going to take coffee, I'm just going to zoom you in, and I'm just going to kind of put this just in the corners, and I'm going to take this NYX like buffer brush, and I'm just going to buff that kind of all over, but obviously where I kind of concentrated it, it kind of stays. Just an all over now brown eye. And take my finger as well and just blend this out. So a super easy, quick brown eye. I'm going to take teeny tiny bit of espresso, which is the darker one. So as you can see, just a tiny amount with the same brush. Just really blend that into that outer corner. There you have it, brown smoky eye, literally in minutes. Right, I'm going to do the same with the other eye. What I like about these cream sticks is you can really like play with placement quite easily. So if you feel like you kind of come a bit low, you can just kind of pat them out and bring them higher. I find this a bit easier than using like a shadow. There you have it, brown smoky eye, just a bit of something. Next I have mascara. This I don't know if I've used before. I literally bought it and I've never really used it. It was all over TikTok and YouTube. There's like a viral thing. I remember the first time I tried it, I felt like it was still a bit wet. So when you open a mascara and it's not dry enough. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. Sometimes it's good to open them and let them dry out a bit. I mean, this is coating my lashes pretty well. It's very spiky though, so I feel like I can't like the bristles are quite long, which means I can't, why am I getting an itch here? Itchy. Which means I can't really get to the like the base as much, but it's definitely thickening and lengthening. I feel like I still have a lot of MAC products in my like makeup collection because they're just like basics. Don't think I'll ever not have a mineralized powder in my collection, but they don't really bring out that many new things. They were very late to the kind of influencer game and being like super innovative, but they kind of just slowed down. And they weren't bringing out, like, their development of products wasn't quick enough. So it's nice to see them bringing stuff out. Okay, and lastly, we have this lip stain by ELF, like a brown colour. That's the colour, like a brown. I'm going to line my lips with the REFY Lip Sculpt, just to give myself, this is in the shade Fawn. Which on other people I always feel looks quite light, but that happens a lot with me. Lipsticks always look dark because I'm just so like Casper the Friendly Ghost white. And then I'm going to take this lip stain. Oh, I don't know if I... Oh, I'm not sure if this colour is for me. It's very like orange brown. Okay, let's redo this. So I took that off, I've put on the lip sculpt, and then I've got my favourite lip gloss. This is from Beauty Pie in Sun Haze, and it's kind of like a brownie nude. Okay, and so here is the final look. I'm super happy with how the base has turned out. I love the eye, it's just very like simple. And the lips, everything looks a bit more red on camera, but the eyes are actually quite neutral. So I hope you enjoyed just me trying out a few bits, and yeah, I really enjoyed filming it for you. Thanks for watching.